So this is the OPPO Find X9 Pro. It costs $2,299 here in Australia, and it's got a Hasselblad Master Camera System that is so good that just for kicks, I'm recording the entire talking head portion of this video on the selfie camera. Hey, so at the end of every year, Marques Brownlee does his annual phone awards. And last year's award for best camera phone went to the OPPO Find X9 Pro, which got me curious to see how good it was. So I reached out to OPPO and they kindly loaned me one for a month where I got to put it through its paces. And after a month, I can genuinely say that I think Marques was actually wrong. The OPPO Find X9 Pro is not just the best camera phone of the year, but it is possibly the best Android smartphone of the year. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the OPPO Find X9 Pro is a flagship device, and you can tell the minute you unbox it. It absolutely looks and feels like a premium device. It's got an aluminum frame with flat edges, minimal bezels. It's got a satin matte back finish and a nicely designed camera bump to house that Hasselblad Master Camera System. On the front, it's got Gorilla Victus Glass 2, which means you won't get scratches from your keys and rubbing things in your pocket or in your bag. But OPPO one-ups the competition by pre-applying a screen protector to the phone right out of the box, so you don't even have to worry about that. The phone is solidly built with IP66, 68, and 69 water and dust resistance, so you can splash water all about it, dunk it in the toilet, it doesn't matter. This thing will not die from a little exposure to water. I love the way it feels in the hand. It's really premium feeling thanks to those flat edges. It reminds me a lot of the iPhone 16 Pro from last year, except that the OPPO uses an aluminum frame, just like the new iPhone 17 Pros, which means it's susceptible to nicks and dings. I dropped it once I was using it, doom scrolling as I did my business, and it slipped off my thigh onto a rug on the floor, and I've already got this ding in the corner. So as much as I love how this phone looks, I would be cautious about using it without a case. So if you're the kind of person who is prone to dropping their phone, put a case on it. But otherwise, this is a gorgeous looking phone, and I love what OPPO has done here. Overall, a lot of the design cues of the Find X9 Pro mirror or copy what Apple has done on the iPhone 16 and 17 Pro. On the left-hand side, you've got the Snap key, which is a customizable button, just like on Apple's iPhone, but is primarily set to activate the AI Mindspace features of the phone. On the right side, you've also got another copy from iPhone, which is the camera control. It is a touch-sensitive button that you can slide across, you can press to activate camera features like zoom and capture. The other buttons are obviously the standby power button and the volume rockers, which I feel for a phone this big are a little too high on the frame, and it really makes it difficult to use one-handed. It requires a lot of shuffling the phone around, which in turn also leads to some drops. The display you're getting here is gorgeous, gorgeous. As I've said, it's a 6.7 8-inch AMOLED display, which means you get perfect blacks, punchy colors, and crisp detail. It also gets ridiculously bright at 3600 nits. That's eye-searingly bright. If you use it that bright in a dark room, you will hurt your eyes. Even in the brightest of summer days here in Australia, you can use the phone outdoors with no problem. Visibility will be perfect. The display also has 120 Hz refresh, which is perfect for the fluidity and responsiveness of the phone. Everything feels smooth and snappy. It's great for gaming. I love the display on this thing. I cannot complain. It is as good as anything from Apple or Samsung. As a bonus, underneath the display is an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. I found the sensor to be really responsive and fast. I've never had any issue with it. I love what they've done here. Now, powering this mega phone is the MediaTek Dimensity 9500. I've used this for a month already, and I've never had any issue with slowdown or stuttering. This thing is fast, it's fluid, it's responsive, apps open and close with ease, multitasking is great. I've done 4K video edits for my shorts and reels on YouTube, and the phone has no issue. It will perform perfectly for everything that you need. The phone does tend to get warm when it's doing very intensive stuff, like I've been recording video on this phone for a while now, and the phone is noticeably hot to the touch. But that has never been a problem for me when actually using the phone, say gaming or doing anything intensive like editing video. However, I just thought for completion, I would mention that the phone does get warm, but not burning hot. Now, it's also paired with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, which is plenty for everyone that I can think of, unless you are a professional and you need more space. There is no option to get bigger storage on these phones from OPPO directly, so you will have to use an external drive. As I've said, the phone is really fluid and responsive, and a big part of that is OPPO's ColorOS 16. ColorOS 16 is an Android skin on top of Android 16, which is already a great iteration of the Android operating system. It's very fast, it's very clean. OPPO have obviously skinned it, and let's just say it pays homage to iOS 26 and all its liquid glass look. So a lot of the things that you will encounter in ColorOS look suspiciously similar to iPhones. So things like the control center, swipe down for the universal search, the lock screen with its depth effects. But OPPO does give you a lot more flexibility, being that it's an Android system. You can customize this thing to your heart's delight. I will say that some places in the software seem a little bit bloaty. There's also like a second app store. OPPO has its own app marketplace that does exactly the same thing as the Google Play Store. I don't know why. Again, you can just uninstall everything that you don't want or don't need, and the phone will work just fine. And because it's Android 16, you're still going to get 7 years of software updates and security, which is good for longevity when you buy such an expensive phone. Now, just for completion, I have to talk about AI because you know everything has AI in it, and the Find X9 Pro is no exception. ColorOS is riddled with AI tricks and bits and bobs. One of the main ones will be the AI Mind Space, which is a vault that you use to collect all sorts of screenshots and voice memos, and AI organizes and extracts the relevant information out of it. I did not find that to be something I would use. Most of the other AI is scattered throughout ColorOS. So you've got AI Writing Assistant, you've got AI in the photos and camera, AI Glow Up, which fixes your portrait photos after the fact. Things like that are all over the place. Your mileage will vary. At the moment, I find a lot of AI on our devices to be marketing gimmickry, and I just don't use it. And I don't think you will find it that much useful either. Of course, you also have Google Gemini because it's Android, and you can always install ChatGPT and all these other things and assign them to the Snap key. Okay, so onto the real reason why everyone would buy this phone, and that is the cameras. The Find X9 comes with a Hasselblad Master Camera System. And for those of you who don't know Hasselblad, that's okay. They're a major camera photography brand from way back. They know what they're doing. So OPPO worked with Hasselblad to develop this camera system and all its software tuning to give you a certain look and feel that is similar to Hasselblad cameras. So for the cameras, you get a 50 megapixel wide angle camera and a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. So you'll get pretty crisp shots at ultra wide. Then you also get a 200 megapixel telephoto lens. This one allows you to do two things. It allows you to get the 120x AI enhanced zoom, which is absolutely ridiculous. And besides being a party trick, most people will never use this more than trying to read a sign that's far across the road or something. It takes great photos, which are then enhanced by AI to fill in the gaps, pretty similar to what we've seen on the Pixel 10 Pro. How you feel about AI generating bits of an image to make an image for you is really up to you. I honestly did not find myself ever having to use 120x zoom for anything. The standard zoom lengths that the phone offers are more than enough. Just flicking between the 2x, 3x, 6x, I get everything I need if I really need to be up that close. But I don't know, maybe you like to spy on your neighbors or something. So, but in saying that, Image quality is fantastic. I've been amazed by some of the shots that I've taken, whether it's portrait shots or just regular point and shoot shots. Looking at this picture, for example, that I took of the OPPO Watch X2, which by the way is also a fantastic smartwatch. It looks like something that was taken by a professional mirrorless camera. I was shocked when I took these pictures. I couldn't believe that I'm not a photographer, but that I could take this. I thought this looks pretty damn good. I could post this on Instagram and, you know, get the likes. Overall, pictures are stunning. The colors are vibrant, the details are sharp, the natural bokeh or depth of field looks amazing, and that's just with the regular camera modes. The Find X9 Pro has a few other pro modes for you to use, as well as the Hasselblad high-res mode, which allows you to take full advantage of that 200 megapixel lens and get incredibly detailed pictures. So professionals who know anything about photography can easily use this phone in the place of a big bulky camera and get incredible results. Generally speaking, this thing never takes a bad photo. You really have to be doing something wrong to take a bad photo with this phone. And this is where the Find X9 one-ups the Pixel 10 Pro, which is also pretty good at taking photos, but terrible at taking videos. Thank God the Find X9 takes exceptional video. As I said, you're looking at video recorded just from the selfie camera of the phone. If I was to use the back cameras, I'd get even better results. But I don't think I need to say too much about video. You can tell for yourself if you like it or you don't. The phone can shoot 4K 120 FPS in Dolby Vision HDR, which is way above my pay grade. Suffice to say, you want to shoot professional video, you can do it with this phone. It also supports log format, which means shooting in a flat color profile with a lot of detail that you can then take into an editing program and color grade the way you want it to look. This is a feature that is now becoming a little more common on flagship phones. We've seen it. Apple has been leading the way in this for quite some time. Samsung has it on the Galaxy Ultra phones, and now we have OPPO having the same thing. But again, for most people, just point and shoot and record will be fine. You will get spectacular results. I'm loving the results I'm getting from this. I love the video from this thing. It's the first Android phone that I have been able to successfully use instead of my iPhone to record content for my channel. So that's an endorsement from me. Battery life on the Find X9 is one of the key selling points of this phone. The Find X9 Pro is using a 7500 milliamp silicon carbon battery. Now, it's a new tech that allows you to have more battery capacity, but in less physical space. That means the phone is still pretty skinny, even though it has a much bigger battery than its competitors. Combine that with the efficiency of the MediaTek Dimensity 9500 processor that drives this phone. This is easily a full day phone on heavy workload. Often gone 2 days with this phone, using it moderately, and that's with lots of doom scrolling, lots of photos, doing some videos for my socials, playing the odd game here and there, lots of email and messaging, mostly on Wi-Fi because I work from home. Now, obviously, battery usage depends on how you use your phone, whether you're using 5G or Wi-Fi, whether you have good reception or bad reception. So it really depends on how you use the phone and your circumstances, but I can definitely say it will be hard to kill this phone in a single day. You also get OPPO's patented SUPERVOOC charging. The phone can charge up to 80 watts over a wired connection and 50 watts over wireless charger. That's pretty fast. Your average phone is charging around 30 to 45 watts. So that basically means the Find X9 Pro can go from 0 to 50% in like 10 minutes. It's insane. It's ridiculous. And you can get a whole day's worth with just a short charge in the morning if you forgot to charge it or something. Interestingly enough, unlike Samsung or Apple or even Google, OPPO actually provides 80 watt charger in the box as well as a really durable charging cable. That is a wonderful thing to have. You are really getting extra value for money when you buy this phone. So there you have it. That's it about the OPPO Find X9 Pro. I think it is indeed the best Android smartphone of 2025. If you were considering buying a new phone, this is definitely one that should be on your radar. If you are somebody who is looking for a powerful, smooth, responsive Android phone that also takes exceptional pictures and video, you definitely need this. If you're a content creator who does a lot of video on their smart device like I do, I highly recommend this as a choice if you don't want to go the Apple route. But OPPO is making some incredible devices that should not be missed, and I'm glad that I got an opportunity to review this phone. I hate that I have to send it back, but you guys now know that there's a great phone out there that you should also consider before pulling the trigger on a Samsung or an iPhone. All right, thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.